is going on, guys? It's the OG suspects. No Russ, no Oldwolf today, but
no Russ, no Oldwolf.
I've got them in the background here for us. Huh?
See the R there? Like the first several times I saw that, I thought it was like Rocket, like Team Rocket from Pokemon. Isn't that what they wear?
I'm surprised you know what Team Rocket is, mate.
Hey, I had a nephew.
Yeah. Well, I guess you got a kid too, so
yeah, he watched. No, my son, I didn't know. It was already not as popular on TV when he was that age, but my nephew, man, it was prime time, man. When he was a perfect age for Pokemon, the first wave of Pokemon craze.
I'm pretty shocked because I'm always shocked when people know about Pokemon because almost all my friends, like anyone younger than me, knows about Pokemon and like knows everything about it. Like it's so crazy. Yeah. I remember back in the day when I was in high school, I was at my friend's house and I wanted to borrow a movie off him, because this was like 2000 or 99 or something like that. And I was looking through his VHS tapes and I was like, why do you have Pokemon movie here? And he's like, Pokemon's awesome, man. I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, that movie nearly made me cry. I was like, oh, okay, nearly made you cry. Okay, I'll watch it. So I actually borrowed it and watched it.
The Pokemon movie?
Yeah, the first movie.
I remember when it came out. Yeah,
it was actually pretty good because like I like those shows when they do like the battle tournament sort of style, and that's what the movie pretty much is. They're all like battling each other, so it was kind of easy to follow. And yeah, there's a bit at the end where you think Ash dies and Pikachu's all sad because he's poking him thinking he's died, and you're like, oh, that's pretty sad, but I didn't cry.
No.
Who cries? Oh, is your drink bottle got a cape?
Yes, sir.
Oh, what the? Oh, it's a stubby holder. Okay, I thought that was the actual bottle, and the cape was built into the bottle. That's pretty cool.
It'd be too nice, wouldn't it?
That's pretty cool. What's going on, Kyle? It's funny. So my work, they sell everything right now. Like we sell all the pop culture stuff, so figurines and all that. All of a sudden, we're selling. It's been for a while, but I remember, like, maybe a bit over a year ago, a customer came in. They're like, "Oh, do you guys sell those things? I forget what they're called. They're like they keep your beer cold." I was like, "A stubby holder." Oh wait, you guys probably don't call it a stubby holder. What do you guys call it?
A stubby holder? Is that what you said?
Yeah. What do you guys call it?
We call those ladies of the night. old stubby holders. Yeah.
What do you guys call it?
I've heard it called a lot of different things. A koozie, like a can koozie.
Okay.
Like, which I think is kind of like cozy, but it's koozie. I don't know. A huggy. I've heard like them called huggies, like can huggies or bottle huggies. So that's what I usually hear called.
Well, we call bottles of beer, we call stubbies. So I think that's why we call it a stubby holder, but which is weird because really they fit cans better, I think. And so we call cans tinnies. Tinnies. Get a six-pack of tinnies or a six-pack of stubbies.
I'll remember that next time I'm over there.
You need to know. Well, yeah, speaking of which, mate. So yeah, I was watching the UFC the other week at my mate. So I watched the replay because we both worked. So he buys the pay-per-view and then he records it, I think, because he's at work. And then I go there after work and we watched it. But yeah, after the event, I was like, hang on a sec. Shouldn't Bubs be on holidays or something right now?
Yeah, I was. We were wanting to go, or I was wanting to go, but you talked us out of it.
Is it because of the Perth thing?
Yeah, you said Perth was a shithole, and we didn't want to go.
Hey, Mark Cuddy Shark could be watching, so I did not say that.
Mark Cuddy Shark heard you say it. He was watching when you said it, and he said, "Yeah, it's pretty shit." And so did Werewolf by Lunchtime, who's also from Perth. And he said the same thing. He was like, "Yeah, it's if you're gonna go, don't go there." Basically, is what he said.
I just remember a friend of mine who's very bit of a drifter. He travels all over the place. So he was in Perth once working, and he was just like calling me, and he's like, "Man, there's just nothing to do here." It's like 5 o'clock. I'm looking around. There's like one person over there looking at me like, "Why the hell is there someone else on the streets right now?" Wow. But I've never been there. It's one of the few places I haven't been to. Perry's got a stubby.
Sorry, Perry.
I went to the UFC event, the first one in. Oh wait, it wasn't the first one. The first one in Australia was. Oh, it might have been Sydney, but I went to the one that was in Melbourne when Ronda Rousey got head kicked by Holly Holm.
Oh wow, that's a big one.
Yeah, I won. I had money on Holly Holm. I had money on her
You're
to
like
win.
probably the only one.
I had money on her to win, and I had money on her to win by knockout. So everyone was no man, because if you watched Holly Holm's fights before she came to the UFC,
Yeah.
she was, and it was always the same. She'd just be outpointing the chicks, and then in the later rounds, she'd win by head kick. I was like, that's what's going to happen to Ronda Rousey. And it was so funny because Ronda was at a peak right then, right?
Oh yeah.
So everyone was like, because she was like the woman power person, right?
Yeah, like the longer you watch, the more you realize that most champions only have like 2 or 3 successful title defenses, and then they're done. Like
which is
it's very rare.
Yeah, now you realize guys like Anderson and Jones and Mighty Mouse how hard it is. It's easy to win a title, right? But it's hard to stay on top, right? Like Conor McGregor, mate, he's nothing, mate. He's never defended a title in his life. Even in his previous organization.
It's fun to watch.
He won the belt, and then he went up to win the next belt, and then he came to the UFC. Won a belt, and then went up straight away. It's like, mate, you haven't defended shit.
Yeah.
So he is fun to watch. But I've definitely, like, I used to like him because he was very, like when he lost to Nate for the first time, he was very humble, like with his loss, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He got worse and worse.
Yeah, but even the first time he fought Poirier, he was like, he went back to being that respectful sort of Conor, and I was like, this is weird. Why is this happening? Like, he was being really respectful to Dustin.
Not the second time he fought him.
Then, but even after the fight, like, he was just saying all this stuff, and then, the second fight, he just was like, whoa. Turned it up to 12.
That was pathetic.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Plus,
you're waxing my DMs.
Yeah, and anytime you're screaming that from your ass because you can't stand after the fight, you need to shut the hell up. Like that is where anyone's screaming from their back. Hey! It's over. Yeah, we need to do a show or something on UFC. We watch it every weekend. We never miss a match. All of them.
For a while, I've been wanting to, because I used to do MMA videos on here, but I've been wanting to sort of start a second channel so I can actually go back to doing things like that. And I thought that was a cool idea to do live streams, talk about the events. We probably couldn't do like a live watch, because I think if we're watching it live, it's probably not going to be in sync.
No, it would probably be an after. We would do an after the fight.
Yeah,
like maybe me and you. I don't know. We don't even have to watch it together. Like you watch it, I'll watch it. It'll be kind of the same time, but not, And then after the match, we'll break down the match.
The problem is I rarely get to watch it live because I'm normally working. So often if my mates, it's rare that we both have the day off together because he works at like he's a prison officer. So he works a lot. Sorry, I missed out on a lot of chat here. What is going on? What's going on, Kelly? What's going on, John? What's happening? But yeah, I think that's actually a pretty cool idea. So I was thinking of I want to ask my mate who did my logo to see, because he's an MMA fan as well. I was going to ask him if he could redo the logo and have like an MMA glove punch me in the face.
That'd be all right. Or you could just do like, your ending card where you have like you assaulting that young lady, licking her in the ear. You could do that, but then have her like holding a ring announcement number, like round 3. She's like a ring girl. That could work.
I don't think that artist is like impossible to get a hold of now. Because Sarah tried to get her to do a commission. There was supposed to be a surprise for me where she was going to edit that and turn it into Sarah, like with blue hair and stuff.
Yeah.
But she kind of she disappeared for a little while, and now she's come back. So we're hoping that we can still get that, because that'd be cool. And Sarah paid for the commission and everything, but and the chick offered her a refund. She's like, "Hey, I'm just going through a lot of shit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it done." And Sarah's just like, just hold on to it. I'm not in a hurry. Maybe we'll get it one day. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. Yes. Have you got any more of those? I feel like I need one of those now, even though that looks annoying.
Oh no, I just push it up. It stays down on its own. I mean, I like to reach up under it. I don't know if it's just habit. And when I feel that, I'm like, well, I got to reach up there. But I mean, you could obviously just hold it. That's that neoprene. Let me get my hands in there. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's too early for beers for me just yet. I haven't even eaten breakfast. I was just like, I was supposed to. I got up an hour early, just be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna get ready, have some breakfast, be like prepared, but no.
Didn't happen.
Trying to make an intro for the show.
Well, I've only had a bowl of cereal today, so I'll be looking forward to a big sandwich coming my way.
Is that it's like a thing? Is that like just is that all you eat, sandwiches?
No, not usually, but I'm on this stream, so usually on Friday we'll go out and do something. But you wanted to have this talk tonight, so here we are.
Don't let me take you away from your wife, mate.
I'll see her after and before and probably during. I'll wave at her. But yeah, she's gonna bring me a sandwich for dinner, and I just had a bowl of cereal because I didn't feel like doing very much. I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. I've got some goals, some tentative goals. So far, I'm on plan, so it's working out. So I've lost like 10 pounds in a month.
Really?
Yeah. And I haven't started working out yet. So, because my garage isn't insulated, so I can't work out in the winter. It's too cold. I'll get it.
Like, come on, man. Like in winter, you warm up from working out.
Dude, it's like 15 degrees out there. Or whatever your version of that is.
15 degrees sounds freaking cold, though. If it's like
cold, man.
Let's have a look. Celsius. All right. 15 degrees is shit. Okay. It's -9 here.
Yeah. Like right now, it's 48 degrees outside. So probably my garage is usually about 10 degrees.
Hey, man. Colder. Rocky didn't complain, mate. He was working out in the snow.
Rocky got paid more than I do to work out. He's working out with a purpose. You know, it gets pretty cold in the garage. It's just a metal building, so it's pretty much the temperature is outside. Only because it's shaded, it's even colder when it's winter, and it's even hotter in the summer because it gets heat built up. So that's one of my projects for this summer. I'm going to insulate the garage. Seal it up real good and tight, and then I can add air conditioning to it. So
I've got to see, I need to do the weight loss thing too, but so I don't know if you remember, you probably didn't watch these videos, but a long time ago on my channel I was doing those Red Hood and Ash videos.
I remember those,
and I did like a video series where it was like it was supposed to be a 5-episode thing, and I made 4 episodes, and I hated the 4th episode so much it put me off from doing anymore. But there was always supposed to be one more episode. So I've been needing to do it for the last 2 years, right? But obviously 2 years have passed. A lot's changed. I don't look the same as I did 2 years ago. So
that's not a bad thing.
I'm literally going to change the storyline to 2 years have passed. The Outlaws have split up. Red Hood's put on a few. And Ash is going to try to get them back together. And Red Hood's going to train to become a superhero again. So I feel like I need to have that scene at the start where I'm like Fat Thor, but like Fat Red Hood.
And
I'm scared of losing weight right now because I need to capture that shot before, and hopefully there'll be actually like training montages.
That's the motivation you need. Be afraid to lose weight because you need to take a picture of yourself.
I need that shot of me just like Red Hood has lost it. So yeah, once I film that, because the thing is, I can't find my Red Hood mask, and it's really stressing me out.
You moved it?
No. I definitely have worn it. I wore it on Comic Gories when, and I was living here then. So that's the last time I remember wearing it, and I just don't know where the hell. I'm sure it's literally just somewhere real basic, but I've looked around and I just can't find it. As soon as I find it, I'll film the washed up Red Hood shots, and then I'll start the weight loss.
Where do you think it is? Where could it be hiding? It's not small.
I have a box with all the character stuff that I wear, and it's not in there. And I'm normally pretty good at putting stuff back where where it should go, but it's just not there. So I'm very upset.
I see
The
what
red
you've
food.
done. What a mess. Oh God. Kyle just sent me a picture of his plastics that he's talking about wearing, that you wear over like all you never get cold. That stuff reeks of mold and sweat from, I mean, like if Fromunda cheese had a suit, it'd be that thing.
Oh wait, you talking about like the sweatsuit things?
Yeah, the ones that like are all like they're made of like plastic. So you wear them over your stuff so that when you're working out, the heat can't escape. Crazy.
Yeah, so those on the car. I bought a weighted skipping rope. I've used it once because like how long has it been? It's probably been 9 years since, but when I used to do Muay Thai, and skipping was part of the warm-up, right? And I was like, now, like, I don't do anything anymore, right? Any exercise. So I was like, skipping's probably a good thing to do. So
Yeah.
I went skip for the first time in 9 years, I guess. And man, like I was just like, just do 3 minutes straight, right? And man, like my knees.
Yeah, I can't do that.
It was insane. Like how I did the 3 minutes, but man, like A, I was exhausted at the end, and B, I just like, man, that's a lot of weight coming down on my knees right now.
Yeah, it's too much. I can't do that high impact anymore. But for me, I like in the garage, I have a weight bench, you know, a press bench. I have some free weights. I've got a one of those like kickboxing bobs. You know what I'm talking about? The bobs.
The bobs.
Yeah, it's a bob.
A bob.
Yeah, BOB. Yeah, it's like a half of a person.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I know what you mean. Yep.
Yeah, so I've got that, and I've got my MMA gloves in there. So, and then I have a exercise bike. So I do a combination of all those, and I can't wait to get started back on that again. I miss it when it's cold and I'm in here. So that's why I'm going to insulate the garage. I can do it year round instead of fattening up in the winter and slimming down in the summer. Now maybe I can stay slim all year, slimmer.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go back to trying to do Muay Thai classes, but I'm so terrified of those first few classes when you realize how unfit you really are. I'm thinking actually in my month off that I take, I would like to go back to where I used to go, but they've moved locations many a times. But I want to contact them just about how much is like one class now? Because back in the day, it was like I never joined the membership. I used to just pay them cash every lesson, and it was like $20-$25. But nowadays, I'd imagine it'd probably be like 40, 45.
Yeah, I would guess so. Yeah.
So I just want to go there for the month because the problem is I looked at their timetable, and it's so far away from me. I can't make it there after work. I won't make it in time for the class. And there's actually like one of the biggest Muay Thai gyms right down the road from my work, but I just feel weird going somewhere else, you know? Like that's where I went back in the day.
You're kind of talking out of both sides of your mouth now, because I thought part of the point of taking the time off was maybe, you know, to expand other horizons.
Yes,
so
well, that's
if you
true.
do that, then it doesn't really matter where all the gyms are located or what your schedule is. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. If
all could change.
Yes, that's right. You're right. All right. I'm just coming up with excuses, aren't I?
That's what it sounds like.
All right. No more of that.
I mean, there are reasons, but only if you put off other things, you know?
That's right. Tai Chi is your friend in plastic.
What am I doing in the garage with Bob?
Mate, next thing you know, mate, Bob's taking over the channel. It's going to be Bob's Comics.
I whacked the crap out of him.
Bob's Comics.
I'm a Bob whacker. Yeah. I remember when I had my channel Matilda Gothica, and she had a real hard time saying bub. So she used to always say Bob. Bob's Comics, Bob. And then it was quite a while later, and she was like, I just realized that your name is Bub, not Bob. I don't know why the fuck I said it was Bob, but I did. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Something awesome. Yeah, interesting that, you know, I've got Beat Saber, Beat Saber, the VR game. You never seen that? It's like a VR game, and it's almost similar to, like, if you ever played Guitar Hero, you would play Guitar Hero, right? So similar idea. You've got these blocks coming towards you, and they all have arrows, and you've got to slice them. You've got like 2 lightsabers in your hand, and you've got to slice them in the direction that they're
like Fruit Ninja.
In. So,
do you remember Fruit Ninja?
My cat's throwing up. That's not good. I need to mark that down.
But you need to write down that your cat threw up.
Yeah, because she's on medication and stuff, and she didn't vomit for like well over a month, and then she vomited about a week ago, and now she's vomited again. So,
is the vomiting to stop the cat? Is the medication to stop the cat from vomiting?
No, the medication is supposed to help her eat.
Oh,
because she stopped eating for a while, and she lost a lot of weight. And then they put her on these meds, and then she was eating food like she'd never seen it before. But even now, she's on the meds, and she's like she eats, but she's not like she was. Like when she first got on it, she literally looked like she'd never. Like I took her to the vet. They had her there overnight, and they had her on they were like rehydrating her and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, he was like, "I gave her food," and he's like, "I've never seen a cat eat food like that in my life." But yeah, what I was going to say is that Beat Saber game, man. If you play it for long enough, man, it is a lot of work.
I bet.
Scootering is pretty easy though. Surely you just gotta hold yourself up, right?
Yeah, I had back when I lost a bunch of weight, I was down to 235, which is the lowest I've ever weighed since I was like in high school. Yeah. And I did it by riding a bike through the neighborhood just relentlessly. I did ride like 5 miles a day, just riding until my legs would fall off. Then I'd get in the pool and I'd swim laps after that. And that was enough to keep the weight down. Then I could eat whatever I wanted.
Did you ever do much sports or anything?
I played soccer when I was in high school.
Oh, really? Soccer? That's not what I expected from you.
Why is that? I'm so big.
I don't know. Yeah, I would have thought you'd done like wrestling or something in school.
Yeah. No, I played soccer because it was easy to join, and I just wanted to get into a sport. I didn't care what it was, and all the other sports,
man. Like I've never.
Oh yeah, it's hard.
Like I used to like a lot of sports when I was in high school, but soccer was something I could just never. I just couldn't dribble the ball, man. It's so hard. I'm just going to quickly wipe up this spew. But yeah,
no, don't do that. The cat may want to eat it again.
No, that's not happening. I'm going to quickly wipe it up.
All right, you enjoy that.
I'll just be over here. But
what are you going to do?
Yeah. I'll just be over here, so I'll still be listening.
What are you going to be doing over there?
Wiping up the spew.
Wipe up the spew. Oh, he turned the camera off. Oh well. Oh well.
Were you good at soccer? Were you good at soccer?
No, I was terrible. I was the worst one on the team. I was the worst player on the team. I was so bad that they nicknamed me Pele as a joke. I was the worst player on the team. I had the best grades on the team, but I was the absolute worst player. But I never missed a practice and never missed a game. I was a gamer, and I loved the practice because it got me in shape, and I was running all the time, and I was being physical, so I enjoyed that. So it did what it was intended to do, which was, make me feel, because I was a kind of an overweight kid. So that helped a lot. I enjoyed that, getting, working out.
Yeah, I was always, because I played heaps of sports when I was younger, but tennis was my main thing, and that's just running back and forth, obviously a lot. Yeah. And basketball as well, but tennis was my main.
Terrible at basketball. They used to call me bows for elbows. They used to call me bows in school because I still don't understand the game. It's just something about basketball.
Can you not understand the game?
It doesn't make any sense to me. I've never watched a game or played a game where the fouling and the officiating meant more than the ability of the players. It's like it maybe in football they can get real bad, but it's more obvious. But in basketball, I'll see like 5 guys travel. They'll call the 6th one. It's like, I just watched all those guys do the same thing, and then you called that one. He did the same thing.
Yeah, I must say the traveling in the US is definitely, they let you get away with a lot.
It's totally, and then I watch hockey, right? So that's my favorite sport probably to watch. And when I watch like basketball and the guys like to see a grown ass 7'6" guy get brushed in the nipple and he falls back and slides for like 10 feet on the court because he's been hit so hard. I'm like, you guys are full of crap. Like all that. If you do that in hockey, they actually have a penalty for that. If you fake getting knocked down, it's called embellishment.
What about in soccer?
Soccer's pretty bad too. You see a guy just get tapped and he'll roll for days. He'll somersault and ball up and cry to his mom. Yeah. And they bring a helicopter to lift him in. But it's the same kind of problem that I had, was the idea that, is this a contact sport or is this not a contact sport? And to me, baseball is not a contact sport. So the rules are obvious. It makes sense. Football, obviously contact, hockey is contact, but basketball and soccer are half contact, half not. It just depends what the officiant wants to call. Drives me crazy. I didn't say I liked soccer, John. I didn't say I liked it. I said I played it. There's a difference. And I played it at the lowest possible level. My starting position was left full bench. That was my starting position on soccer. So, and I never much got off it. So, yeah. And I like to play basketball. I'm just terrible at it. Absolutely terrible. I mean, I can make a shot. Like I can play a game of horse or something. My accuracy isn't bad, but I can't.
I've been obsessed with basketball. They're not playing it, obviously, but like, have you watched The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan or the Chicago Bulls documentary?
No, I have no interest in that.
Oh, dude, it is so good. It is so good. But ever since then, I would like on Instagram, on Reels, I'll watch a basketball reel, and then I'll go to their page and watch all these basketball reels of people just doing crazy stuff.
You muted yourself.
No, I've never muted myself ever.
I just saw you do it.
Yeah, I know. I've never.
Did you get more spew?
Yeah. She was like, you know what she did? She actually almost got it in the litter, because I saw her like wiping something, like trying to bury something next in front of it. I was like, did she just pee on the floor? But no, she vomited on the floor right in front of the litter. So she had the right idea, at least to I was like, that would be perfect if she just vomited in the litter. But she got close. Anyway, give me
trainer.
Huh?
Yeah, where are you going?
I just gotta go clean that.
Again, I thought you already did.
Because she spewed right in front of me like this tiny little bit, but then she's just gone and done a big one. So
that's it. Show's over, folks.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, Ryan.
So I guess we've got two new channel names for you. There's Bob's Comics or Bo's Comics, right?
Bo's Comics, yeah. They've been calling Bub was my nickname since middle school. So they've been calling me that for a long time.
Why was that though?
Because I like Wolverine and I used to call people Bub, and then it was kind of like a running joke where, like, in place of like, do you have like a common name in Australia or something where everyone is named that, or it's just like a common thing that you would see?
Not a name. I guess everyone just calls everyone mate.
Okay. So like the idea would be like, if you were going to open up, or like a common nickname or something that everybody's called. I guess mate's good enough. So like if you were going to open up a sushi shop, you might call it Mate Sushi, right?
Yeah.
And that could be anybody's, right? So I kind of did that. So I would say everything was Bubs this, they were like, oh, where'd you go to lunch? And I'd be like, I went to Bub's Pizza Shop. And they were like, which one's that? I was like, I don't know. It's a freaking pizza shop at the end of the block. I don't know the name of it, So anytime I didn't care what the name of something was, it was, Bubs, whatever. So it just kind of stuck. And so when I started a channel, I was like, well, it's got to be Bubs Comics, because it doesn't mean anything. It's a nothing name. And it tied into Wolverine, so it worked out.
It's kind of weird because like you called everyone Bub, but then they decided to call you Bub.
Yeah, that's kind of how it worked out. So then they started calling me Bub, And then that was it, so which is funny because I kind of had blocked all that out. And then I was looking at my middle school yearbook. This is a couple of years ago, but I was looking at my middle school yearbook and all of them said to Bub. Like all the, they write in the back of the yearbook. Do you guys do that? Like, do you get your yearbook signed?
Sorry, what was that?
Fuck you. I mean, excuse me. Yeah. I said, did you all have the tradition of signing yearbooks?
No, we didn't do the signing thing. I don't think. I know that's a big thing in the US.
Yeah. So when everyone signed my middle school yearbook, they wrote to Bub, and I had forgotten that so many people called me that. Like, but it was a thing for sure. Like Perry saying, nobody wrote in Perry's yearbook. I don't believe that. Bum. It could have been Bum. Probably both. Of the Bum. Actually, the only major fight I got in middle school, I think it was, I got in more fights in high school, but in middle school, the only major fight I got into was from basketball. We were playing basketball and the kid was being a punk and I was just pissed. And you had to sit on these steps. They were like a staircase. And he was on the steps. He was like in the front. I was in the back steps. And when I was coming down the steps. I just took my elbow and I knocked his head into the wall. And that's because he was sitting like close to the wall and I was going down. I was pissed and we're boom. I knocked his head and his head around like you heard it hit. And then when he like came to, he got up and he was starting to charge me, but it was all over for him. But then he got like a bunch of friends afterwards to try and intimidate me. I was like, you guys aren't even really his friends. They were just like, oh, somebody wants us to beat somebody up. Okay. But they never touched me, but they sure barked a bunch. Hey, who's this?
How long have you been sitting back there, Russ? I didn't even notice.
Just like a minute.
Okay.
Oh, he's been cleaning up cat spew.
Yeah.
Oh, Simon.
Yeah. Good times. That means I'm gonna have to call the vet again and could be in for another vet bill. We'll see.
It's a shame. You got to get that OnlyFans page started.
I know. So does Russ.
See, look, Novamad. I mean, Norinrad was saying that I'm a bully, and here's what I'll say. Look, I was always a big kid. I was always one of the bigger kids, like always. And I know, and I'm not proud of it, but I know that there were some kids who considered me a bully. I mean, I know that there had to have been some kids that considered me a bully, but that doesn't mean I also wasn't bullied. So, I got bullied as a kid and I bullied a few kids and I felt like I bullied less than I was bullied. Or yes. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. So, I mean, kids are mean to other kids. Kids pick on other kids, and you always pick on the lesser of the kid than you. And then eventually you get down to that one kid who's so low on the totem pole that he's got no one to pick on. And then that's the kid that gets bullied the most because everybody takes him as a target. But all the way through, even the bullies that you knew as kids, they got picked on by other kids too. They were just bigger kids.
I feel like it's really bad over there in the US. Like, obviously, I think it happens everywhere, bullying, but I think you guys have it the worst. Like, because, man, when I watch your movies, like all the high school movies and stuff, I'm like, man, is it really like that? And people are like, yep, it's really like that.
Well, now the big thing is like cyberbullying, but back then you just got the crap beat out of you.
Yeah, like, you get it here as well, but just from what I see from your movies, it's just like, whoa. It's like real hierarchies of like who's cool and who's not, right?
It's like Bub was describing earlier. I was like the bottom of the totem pole.
No,
yeah,
but
there was a couple of kids that were.
No, but Russ, you'd fight back, right? You told me that story where you like fucking body slam someone through a table or something.
I put him in a submission hold because I used to watch a lot of WWE.
How embarrassing would that be?
I put him in a submission hold.
Again, Russ is there.
I guess I pulled. I guess I pulled a little too hard.
Yeah, and I think there's different degrees of bullying too. Like, I never stole anybody's money. I never pushed them into a locker. I wasn't a physical, tyrant of any kind. I just had a smart mouth. And if you smart off to people that are bigger than you, you're probably going to get punched. So I would more smart off to people that were smaller than me or meeker than me. And that's about it. So I didn't like beat anybody up. I was never that bad. But I mean, it doesn't help because like, even if that kid was, even though I wasn't the one beating him up, I was maybe the one exposing that the kid wasn't going to say anything back at all. So if they're not going to say anything back, they're probably not going to swing back either, but it is how it is.
I'm with Carly. I used to like help out the guys getting bullied. I
did too. The ones that were my friends.
One of my mates in school, he used to get bullied because he was a little bit slow, but I grew up with the dude. So like anytime I was just like right up there backing him up. There was this one time, man, in primary school, elementary school, you guys call it.
That's fine. We call it primary also.
This was so bad. So my two mates, they'd walk home together from school, and they were like, "There's this." So we had a fence that divided our school from another school. So they were back to back, right? And my two friends used to walk home from school, and they were like, "There's this kid from that school. I can't remember the name of the school, but and he always like take asked for our money and stuff like that, right?" So I was like, "Oh, I'll come with you after school," right? So I went. I literally, it was like a movie. They literally just came out from the side, like from nowhere, like from around the corner of this fence, and they're like, to stop them. And I was like doing whatever and like shoving them, telling them stuff off. And then when they were walking away, I went to pick up a rock to throw it at them, right? And when I went to pick up this rock, it's in my hand. I was like, "Why is this rock so soft?" I picked up some dog crap and threw it.
Oh,
that was the worst thing ever.
Yeah, that's horrible. The Omnibuster, Russ, was that your finishing move?
No.
That's because he would bust to everything. Is that what that means? That was awesome. Man, I don't know. School sucked.
I enjoyed school, man. I like school because of, I guess, the memories you had. Like I had it pretty good. Like I was never, like I got into fights and stuff like that, but I'd never, I guess, was too bullied because there was always like, you had like three groups when I was in high school. You had kind of like, I guess, the nerdy kids who might get bullied. Then you have the kids who think they're cool, and then you got just the regular people, right? And the regular people are always the more cooler people, right? So a lot of the guys in the cool group were just pussies, like.
Yeah,
but I kind of was able to float between everyone as well. Like I was just chilling.
Yeah, I was a floater. I was a big floater in high school, especially. It took me a while to figure that out, but because in elementary I wasn't really. Although I was probably one of the cool kids in elementary, if you could say that, just because I was a wise ass. So anytime you're like the class clown, usually you're in that group, And then in middle school was rough. Middle school was rough. I didn't like that at all. I wasn't part of any groups. I was pretty much a loner. I had a couple of friends. That was it. And then in high school, I floated between middle school's secondary school or like junior high. Sometimes they call it.
So like the first couple of years of high school?
No, high school. I mean, if you split them all up into 4-year segments. So it's the middle 4 years. So 5th grade to what? 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. And then in 8th grade, you were like a senior of middle school.
Here we have primary school goes up to grade 6. And then year 7 starts as high school's year 7 to 12.
Yeah.
Well, some high schools only do 10, 11, 12, but
in smaller towns that happens still, like around here. But in big cities, there's just too many kids. So you can't have that many kids in the building to go 6 grades. That's too many. So there's a middle school or a junior high.
I remember back when I was going, I was in the 7th grade, I think. When I remember that's when they changed it from junior high to middle school. Yeah. So I was I was still going when they made the change.
Yeah, it was. But in high school, I was all over the place, man. I just didn't want to be home. So I joined everything. Like I was on the soccer team. I was on the debate team. I was on, I was briefly a member of the National Society of Black Engineers, just so I wouldn't have to go home. I was editor of the yearbook,
Wow.
sophomore class president.
Oh, mate, that's all nerd shit, isn't it?
I know, a student exchange program. So I went overseas for a couple months.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Where'd you go?
Israel.
Wow.
I lived in Israel for a couple months.
Wow, that's hardcore. What was that like?
Cool. It was different. It's life in the desert, but it was pretty cool.
You live with Matilda Gothica's family?
I did not, that I'm aware of. She might have been down the street, but I never saw her. So that was cool. But I did a lot in high school. I was in a leadership camp for 2 summers, and that was by scholarship only. Like you had to apply, write essays, go through interviews and stuff, and you couldn't pay to go. You had to. It was all free, but you had to apply to go.
Carl's comment reminds me of, you know, in Airheads. He's like, I was editor of the school paper. I used to masturbate constantly.
Yeah, we had a big time. So I did all that, but then, you know, because I was a wise ass in high school, then that meant that, you know, you kind of get into that other crowd a lot, because when you're making fun of the teacher or the situation or cracking jokes or pulling pranks, then you don't really get 100% accepted into the nerd crowd, you know? So I was like, I kind of moved around all over. So I had a lot of friends though. Good friends. I don't talk to any of them now. Do any of you guys stay in touch with anybody from high school?
A couple.
It's funny. I've got like a couple people on my Facebook from back in the school
I don't
days,
count Facebook.
I've never said a single word to them in the last 20 years. So I don't know why they added me on Facebook.
Yeah,
because they all either ignored me or beat me up.
My people from my high school were trying to organize a 20-year reunion, but then COVID happened. But they created this group. So I'm in this group with all these people that I haven't spoken to in like almost 20 years. I've still like my mate who I was in a band with. We went to high school together for a couple of years, and we're still. I don't see him a lot because, you know, everyone has their own lives now. But, you know, we'll text every now and then, or organize to catch up every now and then. So
that's cool. Well, you're also still in the same area, right?
Yeah, well, nothing's too far here. I mean, like, yeah, like I've got my close friends, but most of my close friends, we only went to school briefly, and then, you know, so most of my friends that I went to school with, spent a lot of school years with, I don't really see much anymore.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I moved 1,000 miles away from where my school was, and as it was, plus everything's real spread out. So, like, I lived in the Bronx. I lived in the North Bronx, and I went to high school in Harlem. So that's like an hour and 45 minutes away. So my high school was an hour and 45 minutes away from my house. So it was like all the people you saw in high school, they weren't people in your neighborhood. Like you didn't hang out with them after. If you did hang out with them after, then it was in Manhattan or somewhere, you know, it wasn't anywhere near where I lived. So like I didn't have anyone from high school over at my house ever, like never once. And I had friends, but we would just hang out other places, and then we'd separate and go to all our different, you know, places where we went. So Bronx, what part? Uh-oh, Lisa Noble, you're going to shame me for not being hood enough on this. I promise you, but I'm from for real. I'm from Co-op City. So Lisa knows where that's at, I'm sure. Now, to be fair, in the 20 years since I've been there, I mean, I've been there, I was there last year, but in the 20 years since I moved away, that part of the Bronx has got much more hood than it was when I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, it was a pretty nice place. It was a pretty nice place to live. Now I'm like looking over my shoulder. I walk down those streets. They're a little rougher than they used to be, but yeah.
Isn't that weird how things change over that time as well? Like a lot of crappy areas down here are now really
That's what
nice.
Lisa's saying. One of the good parts of the Bronx. I mean, it's just south of Westchester. You guys know where Westchester is, right? Where the X-Men mansion is. They come from Westchester, New York.
That's
It's like south of Westchester. Yeah. Jersey boy. I worked in Jersey for like 2 months. Couldn't cut it. Oh, Parkchester. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Parkchester's much more hood now.
Do you know how to do the
Pelham Bay
Harlem
is
Shake?
too. Pelham Bay used to be nice. And yep, Parkchester, Pelham Bay. We used to ride the 6, baby. What? Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it's a train. Like the trains are numbered. So like there's 4, 5, 6 goes to the Bronx. So yeah.
I've got a request here from Zaz. Do you know how to do the Harlem Shake?
No, you're welcome. That's my train. Which one? The 6 train? Yeah, 6 trainer. Yep, all aboard. Parkchester. Let's see what else is on that line. That's big fun.
40 years in the same house, Gray Man. That's like how old I am.
I don't know how old Lisa is, but I remember. So like J-Lo, right? You guys know J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez for the whatever. But I remember when she came out with her first album, and it was called On the 6 because she was from just a few, like the next neighborhood over from where I lived. She was from there. So she titled her first album On the 6 and all about Jenny from the Block and all that crap. And so anyway, I remember when that song came out, and then people like thought it was a big deal that, she put the 6 train on there. So yeah, Fly Girl. J-Lo was a fly girl for In Living Color. Good stuff, man. The Bronx, Boogie Down Bronx, gypsy cabs. Used to ride those. I mean, for real, to get to high school, I had to take a cab or a bus. A cab. If I had $1. Yeah. A taxi. So a cab. Oh, I don't know. So a cab, I used to take a cab to the train or a bus to the train, but I usually was leaving too late. I didn't have time for the bus. So I had to take a cab. Take a cab to the train, then take a train downtown, switch to another train, take it all the way to Harlem, then get out and either walk like 7 blocks in Harlem or catch another bus. So most mornings I would walk or run because I was late, because I could run faster. I could run 7 blocks faster than I could wait for the bus, ride the bus, and the bus would stop every 2 blocks or so. So yeah. Yeah, now they have Cardi B. What a letdown. I mean, I'm sorry, but not that J-Lo is real high up there either, but if I had to put J-Lo as a representative of the Bronx against Cardi B, it's like J-Lo is everything the Bronx wish it was, and Cardi B is everything the Bronx is ashamed to be. Like, but whatever. People love her. She's certainly real. I don't think she's wow.
What a jam.
Yeah. It's something, isn't it? She can barely string two sentences together. She's a mess. But I do think she's real. Like nobody could act that dumb. So
what's going on, Russ? What did you were catching up with your brother or something, was it?
No. I got some pretty bad news about an hour and a half ago, and I canceled the plans. I didn't want to bring the stream down too much, but I found out a friend of mine earlier today got killed in a hit and run.
Oh, fuck. That's crazy.
Hit and run?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Is he like a friend from where?
I first met her like maybe 10 years ago. She's the one that made my first Superrus shirt that I use in the intro of all my videos.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucked, man. I'm sorry about that.
So how did that? So wait, she got hit today, or you found out today?
Earlier today, and I found out about an hour and a half ago.
Okay,
that's rough.
And so you didn't want to go to dinner?
No, I just canceled the plans and stayed in.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. That sucks. How old was she?
She was just 32.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did it have any leads on it? Any ideas?
I don't know all the details yet, but they know it was a hit and run, and the guy kept going.
Was she walking or driving?
She was walking.
Oh,
she has a little shop right here in town where she sells clothes.
That's terrible.
Yeah, she the worst part is she had 2 kids that she left behind.
She married? Like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
That's terrible.
Hit and run.
When's the services? Do you know yet, or it'll be tomorrow or the next day?
I don't know yet, but it'll probably be within the next day or 2, I'm sure.
Is she in your town?
I think was in Charlotte last I heard.
Are you going to try and go?
The shop here in town. I don't know, because I didn't really know like her friends and her family. I just knew her.
Yeah.
You can still go there, mate. Just be there.
If you can get there, yeah.
Yeah.
If you got a way to get there, give it a shot. Yeah, that's what Perry's saying. Go for her, not for her family. Yeah.
Man, why is the chat coming up quicker for you than me?
You got it on top or live?
I'm in StreamYard. Shouldn't it just be?
Oh well, StreamYard's always got a little bit of a delay. Yeah.
But like Bubs is saying comments, and I was like, where? And then it comes up like 3 seconds later.
Well, because I have, we can't type in the comments. We can't type back to the comments on StreamYard. You can do that as a host. You can do it, but we can't type as panelists. They should fix that. I think they should make it to where we can type. If there was one thing I'd put in there, that's what I'd put. But yeah, so instead I pop out the chat from YouTube and then I move it over so it's in the same spot as it would be, and then I can type and read it as I'm looking at you guys.
Isn't that clever?
I do have ESP. Extra sexy pecs.
Mate, so speaking of like working out earlier, I went to the gym last week with Sarah for the first time in a while. So every now and then we used to go on like a Friday after work.
Wait, does she go normally and you don't go with her?
She doesn't go as much as she should. She
should.
No,
get him. Lisa,
you better hope she's not at home listening, man.
She doesn't go regularly. Get him. She doesn't go. She tries to go once a week, but she'll have times where she doesn't go for a couple of weeks as well. But she's been going a bit more recently. But we went last Friday because a lot of the times on Friday, like every third week, we'll finish at the same time. And then other weeks, I'll finish like half an hour or an hour later. So she'll go to the gym and I'll meet her later. Yeah, get me in trouble, Bubs. Fucking hell. But anyway, we went the other week and I did bench press. I did a bench press for the first time in like 20 years, I reckon.
Brutal.
She's all into doing bench press now. I was like, okay, I guess I can do a bench press. And man, it was, I'm not as strong anymore as I used to be.
Oh, but it builds fast, especially.
Yeah, well, that's true. I remember when I was like 20 and I got into gym, like I remember how quickly like doing chest stuff you would go up in weight.
Yeah. It happens fast.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to lose a little bit now before I go back in to the gym.
Consistency is all you need. And I don't have consistency. So I think once I get into the routine of it, then it really, and especially if you've got weight to lose, then it comes off a lot quicker in the beginning too. So,
well, especially if you're doing nothing before that. Like if for the last year you've done nothing but sit on the couch, then it's gonna melt.
My days off now. When I do these, mate, I sit in this chair for pretty much. It's like a job. It's like a 9-to-5 job on my days off. Sometimes
the gym can hurt you though. Sometimes, man, you go in, you're feeling good, and then all of a sudden, man, you come out and you can't even hardly hold your arms up.
Well, yeah, my chest was hurting for about 4 days.
But, I know. I went. 2018, 2019, I started going to the gym for a little bit with my niece because she had like a free pass thing for visitors.
Yeah.
And they had the leg press in there. And when I was a teenager, I would do 800 plus pounds on the leg press. Like it was nothing.
Leg press all day.
So I see it in there and the max weight on it is like 400 pounds. And I'm like, I used to do 800, 400, nothing. I got in that freaking thing. And
no warm up, no
I
nothing.
lifted it up and I released the little safety thing, and I looked like a little frog getting squished, man.
Don't you have that? Was that the one you got on video? Did you have that on video?
Yeah. I was getting my nephew to film it.
Look, Perry's got
And then the next thing you know, all of a sudden you hear me saying, help, help. And the screen went black because he dropped the phone in there. I was like, God, I can't do. I figured 400 would be nothing, man. But when I used to do 800, I was like 15 years old.
You don't just drop, like the first set I did on the bench press, I only did like 25 kilos or something, which is barely, like, just a little bit more than the bar weighed.
Yeah, but that first day you feel like a champion. You feel like you can do anything. You feel like if you could lift a car, like if you needed to. You feel so strong that first day at the gym, and you spend 4 days regretting that. And then you got to think, no, I need to go back. And that second time, you can't do anything like you could do that first day. That first day is easy. After that, it's all downhill.
Well, it depends how you go. Like I know now when I work out, I don't really care about lifting heavy weights. I prefer to do like more reps with lower weight just to get the motion back.
Look at Lisa picking on poor Perry, saying he's half-assing his cardiovascular bedroom activities. He ain't burning nothing because he's half the time he's laying there saying, yeah, a little to the left. Well, that might be true. I don't know. I've not been hanging around Perry at those times, so who knows? He could be generous and enthusiastic, Lisa. You don't know. Who knows? You know, he's the banana king of the Eastern Seaboard, so you don't get that title for nothing. So there you go.
Who Perry is?
Yeah, Perry is. He's banana king of the Eastern Seaboard. It's a true story.
I don't know if I want to know that story.
Ask him sometime. He'll tell you. He ain't shy. So now what are you going to eat, Russ? You can't share dinner plans. What are you going to eat?
I don't know. I got some leftovers in the freezer. I might just heat something up.
You going to film it? Cooking with Russ.
Simon got all excited. He's a foodie. You remember that?
Cooking.
Yeah, I haven't done a cooking video in a long time.
Half his OnlyFans are roast beef sandwiches. That's all of the accounts he follows.
Man, I love all the comic channels that show some food, mate. I love it. Like Slim's Sunday fam day thing. I used to, like, sometimes if it was like on the day it'd come out, I'd come home. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go eat dinner while watching this, because I used to watch it without eating dinner. I was like, this sucks. I want food.
You get more hungry that way.
Fred Hall, he's always showing something good at the start of his videos too.
Yeah, I'm about to go in.
Yeah, he's a good one for that. And some of the stuff he shows looks real good. It reminds me of my time over in Harlem, because we used to, you know, I guess around here a lot of times you're like stuck in the school like confines, I guess. But we just roamed around the neighborhood, and there'd be so many good places to eat. It's the first time I ever had chicken and waffles. I never looked back. You know, I've been like, if I go to a good chicken and waffle place, it's on, man. I mean, I can't not get it. And I eat it all till I'm sick to my stomach. I can't.
I've never had chicken and waffles, but
it's good stuff.
We go to this. I've shown it in videos. There's this place here called One Piece Cafe, and it's themed on the manga One Piece, but the food's really good there. And I think it might be in one of the videos actually. Sarah ordered. They had like a chicken and waffle breakfast thing. So it was like a waffle, had a piece of fried chicken, had bacon and egg on top, right? And it was served with a soft served ice cream.
That's some bull right there.
And I was like, what the hell is that? So Sarah, right, like it looked good until that ice cream, like the ice cream's just sitting there on the side in a little cup. And then Sarah starts like getting the ice cream and putting it like she's on the food. I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, yeah, this is weird. She ate it all, but she's like, this is weird. I was like, maybe you should have just eaten the ice cream afterwards as like a dessert. Why would you put it?
Yeah. And then Simon said, and get to the gym. What have you been doing around here? You got to get to the gym. You don't go as much as you should. Get to the gym. Put that ice cream down. Get to the gym.
Simon's going to be having to sleep on Matt Spidey's couch.
That's fine. You might find his Red Hood mask there. It's missing. It's got to be somewhere, man.
Norton Rad, that's pretty much what Superrus's cooking videos are. Putting
Yeah.
a hot. I reckon you've actually done that one. Hot pocket in a microwave.
Yeah, well, it was in an air fryer. But I've done, the frozen lasagna in the oven, the frozen pizza. I
You
think
did
I've only
one-
legitimately cooked like twice in my
You
cooking
did
videos.
that one. You did one that was actually kind of impressive.
Was it
I
the
feel-
breakfast pizza?
Yeah, I think that was it. Breakfast pizza, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I even wanted to do another. I want to cook my chili because I saw Fred Hall do a chili video, and I've seen Carolina Chris do a bunch as well. I was like, I want to make a chili video, so that might happen. It might happen.
I cooked chili on Sunday. Cooked a big pot of it. We're getting new pots and pans coming in, so maybe I'll do some cooking videos. I'll send them to you, and you can put them up on your channel. They got no business on my channel.
Cooking
You
with
understand?
Bubs.
You understand? I have a reputation to uphold with my clientele. Again, can't be doing.
Yeah,
that,
no,
but
they don't like. They
I'll-
only like the comics. They don't like the world, right?
No, they don't like the world. They don't like my world. They just like the comics in my world. I'm good with it. I care less.
Just create an alternate channel. Call it Bub's
So-
Kitchen.
I mean, I've made like Bubs Gaming, Bubs Vinyl, because I do like vinyl records, and I had that going on, but I never really activated him. Like I had him active, but I didn't like promote him, and I posted like 1 or 2 videos to each, and it's just too much to start all the way back with no subs, and I just to learn a new community. Like I don't have that kind of time to split myself between 3 different communities because they don't necessarily overlap that much. Like you'll have a stable of about 100 people who will watch almost anything you do. I mean, Russ proves that with every video. So, I mean, really look at this Listerine bottle. Okay. I mean, you got about 100 people that'll just watch anything you do. Right. Cause they like you. They're fans of you. They're friends with you, whatever.
I still haven't figured out why yet.
Yeah. But to get like 1,000+ people to subscribe, then you got to branch out beyond the people who just like you. They got to like the stuff you're showing, and they don't like to cross over channels,
I feel like that's where, like, when I named my channel, I named it SimpleSimon because it's like, it's my channel. Like, I didn't want, like, I always say to people, Bubs Comics, like, if you didn't have comics in the title, you should have free range to do whatever you want. If you have comics in your title, it feels like people.
It'll get you views, but you'll lose subscribers. So that's what happens. So it depends what you're after. If you're after views, then the only thing that matters is the thumbnail and the title of the video, and they could almost care less who you are. And the less that you are descriptive in your channel name, the better. Because SimpleSimon could be the guy who's some sort of expert on cleaning up cat spew. So every time they want to watch a video on cleaning cat spew, they're like, that SimpleSimon, he does good videos on cat spew. So if they like to watch cat spew videos, there you have it, but they're not going to subscribe to you because they don't have to work because you're going to be putting other stuff. Oh, well, now he's doing comics and he's taking pictures of himself as a fat Red Hood. Nope, I'm out. I'm only here for cat spew. I'll check his videos out. YouTube will give me the feed. And
It's hard to get a variety channel over.
It's hard. Variety channels get views, but they don't get subscribers.
Yeah, that's why my subscriber count is kind of feel like it's hit the ceiling. Like it was still growing quite good in the last couple of months. But
Where then are you over 15?
No, I'm 1250, but it's been like 1250, 1251, 1250, 1252, 1250, 1253, 1249, 1250.
Yeah. I know when you like cover cons and stuff, you tend to get some good growth.
The cons do well, yeah. Because now I'm like, so what happens is when there's a convention coming up, see you, Kyle. When there's a convention coming up, I notice people start rewatching the old stuff. So when Supernova comes up, my old Supernova videos randomly will start getting views again. And when Comic-Con comes up, my old Comic-Con videos start getting views again. So they do the best for sure. which is why I can't turn down like going to a convention. Really, I got another convention coming up in a couple of weeks. The Game Expo, the first time ever.
Oh, nice.
So,
The Gay Expo.
Yeah,
That sounds fun. Do they sell tickets in the front door or just through the back door? Which, hey, I'm not. There's nothing wrong with it. Whatever suits you. I got no problem with it. I'm going to a con next month. I'm doing all 4 days, and I was excited to see one guest. It was the only one I cared about really to see, and he just canceled this morning. So
who was it?
Alan Tudyk.
Never heard.
He was on a lot of. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's been in Star Wars movies. He was in Firefly. So Joss Whedon stuff. He's got a series right now. He's in Resident Alien. So he's done a lot of comic book type stuff. So
what character did he play in Firefly?
I don't know. I never saw that show.
Oh.
No, but I know he was on it because a lot of people were excited to see him from that. Like I could see all people complaining that when he canceled, and they were like, "Oh, we need to get a different Firefly guest." I was like, "What the hell that was?" But I've seen him in a lot of stuff through time. He's pretty good. He's good in everything that I've ever seen him in. So I was gonna get him to sign my first appearance of Resident Alien comics, but he didn't.
Of who?
He canceled. Resident Alien. It's a Dark Horse comic.
Okay.
So and they have a show on Sci-Fi right now.
Alien guy.
Yeah, they have a Sci-Fi show based on it right now, and he's the main character. So, but they're filming, and he can't come back from Toronto or whatever in time. It's always the same thing. If they book someone who's actively filming in a series that got renewed for another season, they never make it. They almost always crap out. He was the ship pilot.
Oh yeah, I know who that is. Then I remember him from that show.
And he was K2SO. He was the voice of K2SO in
really?
Rogue One.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wait, what's his name again?
I can't spell it, but Alan Tudyk.
Tudyk. Oh,
I think it's like Turd Dick, but not spelled that way.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Interesting. He's in lots of stuff, I think, that guy.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. It's too busy to come to the convention.
4 days, mate. Going to the convention 4 days. I mean, what's left to see after 2?
Well, so people can see me.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, Well, I mean, there's only one convention in my area that anyone knows about outside of this state, So what happens is that people will go to the convention and then they'll put in their video, like, I didn't even see Bub there. Like, I didn't see Bub. Where was Bub? I didn't see him. And I'm like, I was there, man. I was there Thursday for like 2 hours. I was there Saturday for like 4 hours. But then they were like, well, I was there at Friday, 7:00 at night, and you weren't there. Like, so for the first time, I'm working a job that gives you a ton of time off. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to really do the convention, and I'm going to be there every hour that the convention is open. I'm going to be there, even if I'm just sitting in like the lounge area, chilling and hanging out and meeting people, then I'm going to go. So that's going to be my plan.
But now people might not care anymore, Bub. They might be like, Bub,
not me. Yeah, they don't care about me. Yeah. It's true.
Like,
I'm not as much of a hot property as I used to be.
He's let us down so many years in a row.
I think what happens too is that as a comic book collector, a lot of people, so YouTube is a great place that people go when they want to spend money and they're scared to spend money. So they want to see someone else spend their money and see how it went for them. So that's why like the number one videos are, should I buy an Xbox? Is it worth your money to spend on an Xbox? Right. Like, so when you pick up big books and big keys, people are like, wow, I'm going to watch that video. I'm going to see someone else spend their money on a hobby that I'm interested in. And that gets people excited. It's like they're living vicariously through my collection. So what happens is that when you reach a point where you have kind of all the major keys that you care about, you're not picking up those big books anymore. People are like, now his collection looks like mine, I guess, or they progress where they start picking up those books themselves or maybe making videos themselves. And I think they kind of roll out because I'm not really offering a whole lot of information on my channel. It's mostly just my opinions, what I think of the art. And that can only get you so far because, like, I don't know, Jenny Frizen isn't on my hot list. Peach Momoko isn't on my hot list. David Nakayama's put out some real stinkers in the last 12 months. I mean, just totally.
Are you on that train, are you?
Man, those last 2 Catwoman books look like trash.
No, I didn't mind the Catwoman ones. I just some of the Marvel stuff he's doing, I'm not massive on, but like what about the Power Girl one? The Power Girl one was nice.
Yeah, it's okay. Her neck's too long. Her waist is weird.
Did you see my video? Did you see my this week's Comic Haul video?
I haven't seen it. I
showed this book, and my friend. So I have a friend at work who's really into comic books, and him and Sarah gang up on me and talk trash on Nakayama's work, right? And I just have to sit there and take it. So he was saying that he sent me this before, like when it came out, and he goes, "Look at her neck. Look how long it is." So in my haul video, I talked about that, and I was like, there are people that have long necks, and then I played a montage of all these like hot babes with long necks.
Oh, really? I need to see that. I agree, Lisa. It's like sometimes he gets it right. Sometimes it's something that I can overlook. But once I identify what's weird about the cover or what's wrong with the art anatomy, it's all I see. Like all of a sudden, that's all I see about that cover. And it makes me angry.
But some of his older stuff was killer, right?
Yes, that's what I said. In the last year, I feel like he's a little overworked, and that's what happens. These artists get, popular, and then they get, overworked.
Yeah, because they have to hand in like 40 covers for the end of the month, right?
Yeah, and everybody wants their money, so everyone's like, "Hey, I'm paying you this. You're gonna have this done by this day, and get it done." So, but yeah, I agree totally, Lisa. Something's up. Look, we're both from the Boogie Down Bronx. That's what's going down right now. Y'all don't even stand a chance. With me and Lisa tonight, we're like this. You guys wouldn't understand. It's a Bronx thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lisa. See, I don't want to ruin art for anybody.
I like Art Germ. I like DNA. But like, I agree. Like some of the Marvel stuff that he was releasing, I was like, it's not as good. But like that random Wonderland cover that I got sent in your box.
Yeah.
That's like completely different style than any of his done. Any of his. Do I have that here? No, it's too far away. But yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, it is. He has a few different styles, and so does Art Germ. Has a few different styles too.
Art Germ's got plenty, man. Art Germ can do photoreal stuff. Man.
I know. He can do anything a MacBook Pro can do. And he's I know. I'm trying to be more diplomatic. When I look back at how I've behaved in the comic community and especially my first year when I really didn't give a crap. Like when I'd get on here and just blast people, like I watched a video on this other guy yesterday. He was an idiot. You know what I mean? Like I look back at some of those and I'm like, God, man, I was rough. Like what a jerk. And now I look back and I think, first of all, I was right. Like I don't look back and like I was wrong, but I look back and I'm like, man, that was pretty rude. Like I was kind of a rude dude when I first came on here. And now people have been so nice to me since I've been on here that I kind of feel bad to some of the people that I wasn't as nice to, even though they were idiots and still are some of them. But but I just realized that I just don't have to associate with those people. Just leave them, let them do their thing. I do my thing, and everything's copacetic. So that's how I feel now. A much more zen approach to the whole YouTube community. Cheers, YouTube community. Get your money.
How long have you been on YouTube now?
I don't know, 4 or 5 years maybe.
Okay, so about a similar time. So you were fairly new when I first. Because I first discovered you on Comic.
I feel like my first video goes back to like 2018, 2017, something like that.
Yeah, I think I was.
That feels about right.
Well, I just reached 4 years, so you would have been 2019, 28. I don't know.
Maybe I've been on a year longer than you. Maybe. Because I remember we had just bought this house. Like in my mind, I think about what this room was back then. Because obviously, before the hobby blew up like it, like it did for me, then it looked very different. It was very sparse. There wasn't much in here. And then all of a sudden,
when did you start collecting?
2017, I think.
Oh, so you're fairly new to collecting when you started the channel as well.
Yeah, I was new. Like I was still watching how to put your comics in a bag and board video, kind of crap like that, and going to the peddler's mall and picking up, dollar books. I was hunting down dollar books, kind of finding what I liked, and then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I think I'd like to have every issue of Wolverine, and that's when it went crazy. And I was reading then much more, and then I kind of switched to collecting from reading. So now I hardly ever read a comic book, although I'd like to. I got too many hobbies. And it's easy to sit there and be like, I'll read it later. Whereas,
so I say that. And then next week I come home with another stack of books and I'm like, shit, it's too many books.
And don't forget, you got to read a book for our Simply Super stream next Wednesday.
Yeah, I better remember that.
What book are you reading?
We're going to read Obi-Wan, and the episode's going to be called Rater's Notes.
We're ripping off Grader's notes. It hasn't been on for so long. Maybe
I used to tease that show all the time about being the longest 3 hours of my life. Like that Grader's Note show.
We're just keeping it to an hour. We're only doing 3 categories.
See,
cover art, you remember interior art, and story.
I discovered Roger. You know that, right? At least that's what he says. I don't see it that way. Obviously, I had to have found him first. But, I kind of brought him out into the community more, right? And so to me, Roger's great, but he is like a huge brain of knowledge, of comic knowledge stuffed in there. And if you're not careful and you pull that cork too hard, it'll just pour out everywhere. So you kind of got to, like, when you hear me on shows with him, I'm always like, pop the cork, stick the cork, pop the cork, stick the cork. Like I'm always letting it dribble out in doses, and then sometimes he gets on a show and somebody will just let him rant, and Roger can go all night, man. He knows everything. Like he knows so much about comics, and he's read all the stories and, up to a certain time period, of course, that sometimes they pop that cork and my man will rant. He will spit comic knowledge for an hour straight and nobody get a word in. So
that's like when I film at the shop with Mark. I try to keep the videos to 15 minutes, but mate, sometimes like there's been videos where I came home and I had 45 minutes of footage to cut down into a 15-minute episode. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Sunday, I'm going to film some videos and I'm trying to take my own advice. So, I'm always fussing at you about your lurking videos or surfing videos, your surfing videos. Because
gaming.
Yeah, because what happens is so you do that surfing video, but if I've already watched Oldwolf's 15-minute video, now I have to rewatch it, but with your commentary for a full 15 minutes, it's just too long. It's just too long. I'll rewatch something that's 5 minutes, 6 minutes, but I can't rewatch something for 15 that I just watched. I just watched it yesterday. Like I can't rewatch.
I prefer to choose the ones that are 10 minutes and under.
Even 10 is too long.
Yeah,
even 10 is too long.
As long as if people are interacting in the chat, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, but it goes quicker for you than it does for me if I've already seen it.
Of course.
And you got to talk more. Like
you should do spoilers next time. He's about to say this. He's about to say that.
Well, like when Perry did his lurking, I think one of the reasons it was so successful was that he skipped through a lot of videos. Yes. He didn't watch the entire. Sometimes you get especially the early YouTubers, get a 20-minute video or something. He'll skip through it. He'll show just a little bit, and then he'll jump off, leave a comment, leave. And also, he was very vocal to the point of we were so far in his head, we could tell that there was extra room in there. Because he'd be like, hey, this guy. I like his hat. I'm gonna leave a comment. Tell him I like his hat. Look at this guy. He's got cool. I like that. I like his shirt. He's got a cool shirt. I'm telling you, he's got a cool shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next video.
I remember because I thought it was weird because obviously Perry, I didn't even know how he found my channel, right? It must have just been a random one and he clicked on it and he's like, let's check out this guy's video. And I remember I went and watched the stream and he was just like, he was skipping through it and he's like, why is this guy showing Killing Joke? Why is this guy showing Watchmen? Why is he showing all these books that are so old? And I'm just like sitting there watching going, if you watch the video, you might know.
But that right there, what he's saying right there, talking to yourself for hours is an art, and that's what he is so good at. Is talking to yourself, but still saying interesting things or what's interesting to him and pulling you into his brain. So you got to pull us into your brain.
Yeah, see, my brain is really dumb. So like when I pull you into my brain, you're like, I gotta get out of here. So when I did my Twitch stream last week, which by the way, guys, I'm gonna be doing a Twitch stream later today, probably.
All right, what are you playing?
In the description. I'm playing just Star Wars Fallen Order. But last time what I'm gonna do is last time I did a 2-hour stream, and the last 45 minutes of it was me trying to beat a boss. And I got there eventually, but I was just like me swearing my head off the whole time because I kept dying. So this time, Sarah started playing the game, and she's surpassed me now. She's just blitzing through the game, and I'm always here editing whatever. I'm looking over, and I'm like, why is she killing everyone so easily? And then I was like, wait, are you playing on easy mode? She's like, yeah, it's story mode, so it's not as hard. I was like, oh, I'm going to change it to story mode just so I can blitz through the bloody game a little bit quicker than someone watching me for 45 minutes doing the same thing. But I understand you've got to talk. You can't just sit there and play the game, right? For people to, but man, like I just mumble.
It's really hard.
I just mumble real dumb shit. Like, I'm like, oh, what was that? Like I was wearing my glasses, and at the start of the stream, I was like, I can't see what I'm doing. This is too hard. Like,
yeah,
that's full on. You want to get out of that?
Really hard. It's really hard to play video games and be entertaining at the same time, unless you're like 12 and everything's shocking to you. Like, oh my God, you see that?
I am a little bit like that. Yeah. Like if you put me in, like, for example, a lot of people were playing Last of Us, right? If I played that game, I'll turn to a little girl. I can't handle zombies coming after me. Or in any video game, when something scary is coming after you, I don't deal with it the best.
Yeah. I don't like any of what I call flashlight games. That's flashlight games, Russ, not fleshlight games.
What about what you were thinking? You got to talk to Simon about that, man, not me.
What about that flashlight that Unruly sent into the group chat?
Oh, with the foot on it? That's horrific. My God.
I can't believe that's a thing.
I'm sure it isn't. Surely not. But anyway, any of those flashlight games where you're walking down a dark corridor and you can only see this much of a lighted space at a time because you're like, you only use like your tack light on their rifle or something. And then something jumps out and like kills you. And the trick is next time to remember something's going to jump out at you right there and be ready. You know, I don't know. It's tough.
I was playing a game kind of like that. The original Dead Space was on Game Pass. I tried it out for like 30 minutes. And I was just like, this ain't for me.
Too hard? Too scary?
That's like, I don't know, man. It's just not my style of game.
I'm playing Zombie War 4 on Game Pass, and it's like a World War II zombie shooter. Yeah. And I got up to a hard level and I can't beat it. And then I'm like, I'm done. I was playing, like I was doing really well. I'm like on level 4 or something. And I was like, this is too hard. And I can only play it during the day, because if I play it too close to at night, I get kind of like, like I go to bed and I
get really intense into games. Like I hate dying so much. So when I'm getting attacked, I like scream and stuff like that.
Hey, there's Werewolf by lunchtime. Hey, how's weather over there in Perth? Good stuff. Did you watch the match? That's all I got.
Yeah, see, that's the thing I find, and again, that's why I feel like Twitch is the better platform for streaming games, because people go there to do that. I feel like YouTube, it's a little bit harder for people to show up and just sit there and watch you get games.
Well, unless like with the comic community, it is, but breaking into the game community is like tough.
No, but again, I feel like, so like I said, so before I did my stream recently, I didn't stream for like almost 2 years, but my last stream I was playing Miles Morales, and I had like 25 people watching, and I was like, what the hell? And again, I think it's because I'm smart and I wear a Spider-Man mask while I'm playing, which makes it hard because it keeps fogging up and I'm like keep having to wipe my eyes down.
I think what messes me up is like I'll do it like randomly in the middle of the night. I won't be able to sleep, and I'll just get up and I'll stream a couple hours of Skyrim, and there'll be like maybe 2 people, and nobody says anything for the first hour. So you're trying to like talk to yourself at 3 a.m. to keep the stream entertaining.
Twitch is the same. There will be people watching, but a lot of them will just lurk and they won't say anything.
Yeah.
Can you remember, Russ? I think you watched that Batman stream. So I went to play Arkham Asylum, and I hadn't played it in like a year, so I couldn't remember anything, right? And I was up to a stage which just you needed to know how to play the game to get past this bit. And I think it was like I played for 15 minutes and I died like 50 times, and I was like, nah, this stream.
Yeah, that was rough.
You just make the switch, Perry. I think again because, like Bub said, you're good at engaging. Like you're engaging to watch. Because of your reaction. So I think you'll find you're not going to hit maybe like your bloody YouTube reaction stuff hit, but people will watch you and they will follow you because they just like to. And I think Twitch is that platform to do it on.
Perry is an entertaining.
The only thing I really don't like about Twitch. The only thing I don't like about Twitch is that they delete your videos after 2 weeks.
You can download them. You can download them.
But still, if I put something on the platform, I want it to stay there.
No, but the Twitch platform is not about that. The Twitch platform is all about interacting.
Well, that's why I say screw Twitch.
Mate, you can't just keep complaining. If no one's like, you may as well try it.
Like, nah, man. I'm the type of guy that change is bad. I'll stick with my mediocrity.
So when I remember that period of time a couple of years ago, Russ, when I was streaming on Twitch quite a bit, I hit every box to meet the affiliation thing except for 50 followers. So now I actually have 50 followers because randomly because I've been promoting it, trying to. So people have been following me, but now I just haven't been streaming. So all I need to do is get those things again. But last time I hit every box but the 50 followers. Yeah. So,
but I was thinking of using Twitch to stream to YouTube, which you can do through StreamYard.
You can do both, but I like keeping my shit separate on all the platforms. Like people, for example, have a Facebook. And they'll post on Instagram and it'll just automatically post the same thing on Facebook. I don't want that. If you're going to go to Facebook, it'll be something different from me. You know what I mean? So I have a Facebook page, which I don't really attend to because Facebook is useless for trying for promoting for random people to see it. Facebook is basically doesn't work.
Yeah.
Unless you want to pay money to sponsor it. It doesn't work. Yeah. Instagram, all you need to do is put hashtags on there and random people will see your shit. It is just so much better as a promotional tool. And that's why, I mean, my Instagram started just to promote YouTube. And now it's the only sort of platform I kind of use. But it's so much better.
Well, Sunday I'm going to make a bunch of 5-minute videos. I'm just going to sit down and make some content and then release it over the next couple of weeks to gear up towards the convention, which is about a month away. So that should be perfect. And get a little bit of attention this way and see what people want.
Yeah, you haven't done a video in a month.
Yeah, I know.
But I used to always have like a backlog. Always had a backlog of videos, and now I'm just out of ideas.
I'm not. I've got 2 short boxes of books because I haven't stopped picking up books. I got 2 short boxes of books to show off, but I just.
What's up, Archer?
Too busy.
I enjoy making videos that are not comic book videos now. I don't know. I like to mix it up. I mean, obviously the comic books thing's always going to be there, but I enjoy the videos that aren't just me sitting here showing you my books, you know, like because I really enjoy editing. So when there's different stuff to like my convention videos, I come home from the convention, the video is ready by that night because I just won't stop until it's done.
Yeah, I haven't done a regular video in a long time either. Like I switched it up. I started streaming. Like 80% of my channel is streaming, and maybe 20% is regular videos now.
Shorts are fun. I overthink shorts a little bit. I'm like, wait, where do I put the camera? Where do I set my phone? And how do I do this just right?
Sometimes I'll go to bed and then go, you know what? I'm not ready for bed. I'm going to make a shorts. I'll be done in like 5 minutes. I've filmed it. I've edited it. I'm done. It's so easy. And then they'll get like way more views than my normal videos. So.
Speaking of streaming, quick shout out to Fanboy Prime. Me and him's going live on my channel tomorrow to show some Man of Steel Superman books.
Oh,
Russ, you haven't had me on your channel in forever. That's it.
It's been a while.
I reckon Bub showed up for one of those.
You popped in,
ones.
I think, on my first comic book stream when
Ever?
I did the going through the comic book collection. Well, it was one of my going through the comic book collection. You popped in while you were on your lunch break, I think.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not been forever. Maybe a month.
Yeah.
Carl's back.
Hey, welcome back. I'm so hungry.
When I go through my X-Men books, man, I should have you back on.
Yeah, so I'm looking at all these books. So Sunday's a big. Saturday I'm going to work, and I know I work from home, and they're not asking me to work, but my wife's going to be working from home also. So while she's working in her office, I'm going to work in mine and just try and get caught up at work because I'm like drowning. So I'm trying to get caught up at work on Saturday, and then we got stuff to do Saturday night. So Saturday's a wash, but Sunday I'm going to clean out the garage some more and get my gym put back together. And then I'm going to film some videos. So that's going to be my big Sunday push, is to get all that good stuff done. I hope to be exhausted by the end of the day and probably drunk. It's going to be great.
When you get your gym set up, man, you could like film some workouts.
Yeah, if you put the camera just right, you can get some up short shots. Yep. That's how it works. That's how you get the subs. Oh, my food has arrived. Are we still on? Are we still doing this? Is it over? It's been an hour and a half.
Do you want to bail? It's up to you, mate. I can.
I want to eat. I'm starving.
I haven't actually eaten either, so maybe you'll call it. But before we do, Russ, anything coming up on your channel?
Well, like I already plugged the live stream tomorrow with Fanboy Prime, and then next Tuesday will be another Harry Potter stream. I'll be up to the Goblet of Fire, I think.
Oh shit, you're gonna be beating me. I've only watched the first 3 so far.
Really?
Yeah.
You gotta get on it, man. Watch it before I do.
Yeah.
Or just watch me watch it and try to put the movie together in your mind while I like.
Well, I could have it. I could have it playing. You know what you need to do? You need to line it up. Like at the start of the stream, you need to be like, all right, I'm at 5 seconds. I'm at 10 seconds. I'm at 15. Just at the start so people can line it up. Or not, whatever.
Sounds like fun.
That's all you got?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Jeez, right?
I spaced, man.
Hey, you don't have to take this from us. Let me tell you something. If he tells you need to go to the gym, leave his ass. It's getting ridiculous.
That was like that.
This guy's out of control. He's out of control.
Distracted me with like the countdown, and I kind of just spaced.
That was like that Comic Rose moment where Bubs was on that when they're like, all right, guys, ready? The clock starts now.
Oh yeah, and
Russ is just sitting there for 10 seconds.
oh, now? You mean now?
Oh,
That's
man,
classic.
that's funny.
Froze like a deer in the headlights.
All right, Bub, you've got a obviously 5-minute video extravaganza coming out.
I'm going to try and my goal is going to be to make 4 5-minute videos, which should take me like an hour, right? Between editing and everything like that. So I'm going to take an hour of my day Sunday, make rapid fire, 4 5-minute videos, and have those uploaded over the next couple of weeks. That's the goal.
All right.
Be on the lookout. And I'm going to do it's time to do another Slimming Down the Collection run.
Oh, okay.
So we're up to 2,700 comics, over 2,700 comics.
Check a few into my box that I'm building now, yeah?
So I need to shave about 250 comics.
Ooh.
So to be comfortable.
All right.
You got my PO box, right? Just send it my way.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
And you've got my new box that I'm building, Bub. Just check a few in there. It's all good.
I haven't got anything for it yet. It's still empty.
Don't I have that Somebody's Killing the Children book coming? Is that not come yet?
You don't have it coming, but it's not here yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We're working on the final box. I'll only be a pain in the
Final
ass.
box, really? I don't believe you.
Well, I know what's gonna happen. I'll get you to send that, and then there'll be something else that comes up cheap. I'm like, oh, I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to be a pain in the ass. It feels like such a pain. So.
Oh no! Don't worry about it. It's much more pain on my side.
Yeah, I know. Which is why I don't like.
Oh, I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. I like to help. I like to help out my friends when I can.
If you guys can't get enough of me, I might be streaming on Twitch maybe in another couple of hours. So my Twitch link is in the description below. And also, I'm going to do a stream on Tuesday, which will be Monday night for most of you guys overseas. Bub, before you go, I need to just quickly ask you something backstage. But it's going to be some sort of cover battle on Monday night, and it may involve a gentleman from the UK, but stay tuned for that one. Anyway, that is all from us. Thank you for joining us. Hey, did you see that new feature? I'm going to stop talking. Until next time, keep it simple.